feel like this looks bad. Ah, it's super backlit. Okay, I think that's better. Hello, my name is Sean. Back in February, I moved from New York to Tokyo, and the past 6 months here have been fun and exciting and at times difficult, but I think more than anything, it's been happening really fast. And one thing I realized is that it's been tough for me to recall different emotions I felt during my time here. Personally, I've always found it useful to have photos or videos of moments in my life. I feel like it captures a perspective better than just writing alone could, or at least better than my writing could. And so, yeah, I'm starting a vlog. I don't know if it'll be exciting yet. This is literally the first video, the first vlog that I'm recording, but I'm hoping someone somewhere out there finds it interesting. And at the very least, it'll be a nice memento for myself of my time in Japan. But yeah, I gotta get started on the rest of my day, so I hope you enjoy this vlog. Hello. Yeah, I don't know. I've only been here for about 6 months, and before coming, I didn't really know like Japanese at all. Like I barely knew like hiragana and katakana, and I knew no kanji. I think I'm like happy with the progress I've made so far. Like I took like 3 years of Spanish in high school, and I feel like in the 6 months or so that I've been here, I've greatly surpassed my speaking ability that I gained in 3 years of like high school classes, which I think is like a testament to having to speak more often just being here, but also I have more of an interest in like learning the language now, as opposed to in high school it was like you have to do it as part of your curriculum. We just started a new class with this separate like Japanese language school, I guess personalized lessons. So it's a little bit more expensive than I guess a bigger group class. It's probably around like, I don't know, $100 a month, but it's for 2 hours a week and it's one-on-one time. And I feel like hopefully I'll learn a lot faster this way. I have a pretty busy day-to-day work-wise, so I kind of have to lock in now. But I'll probably go to a cafe and post up and hopefully crank out some work. So yeah. Okay, just left the cafe. Got a good amount of work done. I'm heading home now, partly because I felt like I was staying in the cafe too long, but also I got these new shoes. It's like a pair of loafers, and actually maybe I can just show you. Okay, yeah, I had been looking for a pair of like black loafers, and I found this brand called Pair Boots that I really liked at like a bunch of vintage stores, but like wasn't able to find my size, or like if it wasn't my size, it was like really beat up. So I ended up buying a new. I'm not sure if I got the wrong size or it just takes a while to break in, but they like really hurt to walk in. I don't know, maybe the break-in period for these shoes is like a while, but I think I have like blisters on my ankles now. So I'm gonna go back and at the very least change shoes. I think I still have a bit of work to do. So wrap that up and then see what the evening holds. I probably should have said this at the start of the day. What I do for work, I'm working as a software engineer for a company in Japan. I've basically been working in tech for the past 9 years or so. It's what I was doing in New York before I moved here. And around a year ago, I decided I wanted to move to Japan, and I was sort of exploring like what's the best way for me to move. I know like people come here
like student visas, and some people might do like language exchange programs. And I did consider that. I thought it might be fun to go to like a language school for a year, but ultimately it seemed like the easiest route for me to get here was through the career, which I've been doing for my whole time post-grad. And so, yeah, I applied to some jobs, ended up working out. I would say career-wise, I'm somewhere between a senior and staff engineer. I think in recent years, I haven't been prioritizing advancing in my career as much. I guess I don't know. I don't find it particularly fulfilling, but it's what I've been doing for so long, and I'm like relatively good at it. And so it's been hard to do anything else. For my first few years out of college, I felt like I sunk more time than I needed to into my career. And I think it was one of those things where, like, especially in the corporate world, they have a very like intoxicating loop of if you do well, they will promote you and like reward you and say nice things about you, and that all feels good. Even though I didn't really love like the output of what I was doing, just like people hyping you up always feels good. And so I did that for like a few years. And then I would say over the past couple of years, I've like reached a point where I don't want to take on more responsibility and sink more time into work. But especially before I moved, I also didn't like being perceived as like not doing good work. I was in this weird place where I was putting in a lot of time at work, but I wasn't chasing like the next stage of the career. And so it felt like wasted effort, I guess. I feel like moving here has felt like a clean slate for me, where I don't feel mentally like I have to put in more effort to, I don't know, maintain some like self-imposed bar of quality or whatever. But on the flip side, this is also the first time where my ability to stay in a country is tied to like my work status. And so it's kind of like I want to not put in more effort at work than I have to, but at the same time, I don't want to get fired, because then I would have to go back to the US and that would suck. So we're sort of treading that line. It's about 7:15 now. I still have some work to do, which feels bad to say after I just ranted about not wanting to work more than I have to, but I do think I need to finish this. And then I have like this party at 8:30 or so. So I'll probably work for maybe 20 more minutes, get ready, grab food, and then head to the party. Wow, that's so nice. I just realized this microphone has like a button that starts the recording on the camera, which isn't even, I guess, that cool, but it's nice to not have to go around and like press the record button. I ended up getting back home kind of late last night, or at least late for a Tuesday, but the party was hosted by like a friend of a friend. Basically, my friend brought me along, which was nice. And it was cool. Met like a lot of cool people, but I think the theme was like champagne and like seafood. And I feel like these days, whenever I drink any alcohol, I just get like terrible sleep after. So I think I slept like 5 hours last night. So I'm feeling pretty tired today. I don't know if anyone else feels this way. I feel like meeting new people exercises like a different socializing muscle than like normally just hanging out with friends. That's kind of dumb. I feel like that's obvious. But I think prior to moving here, I sort of had like a friend group, and it's been a while since like I've had to like meet new people and sort of go through like, oh, like, you know, what do you like to do? Where are you from? All this stuff. And so I basically met like a lot of new people last night, which was nice. But I feel like I'm still getting used to being back in that mode of like just asking like the basic questions. Today I'm going into the office for work, which sucks because I'm already tired today, but I don't know. I feel like my day will mostly just be work and then coming home and maybe watching something or playing some games. Also, if anyone ever comes to Japan and is looking for Greek yogurt, I feel like this is the best brand I've had so far. It doesn't have like a ton of protein, but I guess the container is kind of small. But yeah, it's just like super creamy. It just feels like high quality Greek yogurt, I guess. Chofu right now. I've never been to Chofu, but yeah, I've had a very long and unexpected day today. The reason why I'm in Chofu is because I guess like 2 weeks ago, I guess like a month ago, I had like this like lower back pain, but it was like kind of dull and not really that bad. I went to go see a doctor about it, and they're basically like, yeah, it's just like some tight muscles. Give it some time, and it'll be fine. And I gave it a couple weeks and actually did get a good bit better, so I thought it was fine. And then 2 weeks ago, I was moving like a heavy box. It was like some trash that we were taking out. I felt my back like tighten up, but I didn't think too much of it. But then over the past couple weeks, it's still been like painful. And then last night, I noticed that it was like pretty painful to like do a lot of things, and I noticed like my left leg starting to get like numb and have like this tingly sensation. So today I was like, damn, I should probably go to the doctor. Found a spot today. I went in. I was there for like 3 hours or something. Yeah, I got an MRI. It was my first time getting an MRI, and that shit was terrifying. It's like you're in this like tiny tube for like 20 minutes, and it was just like these super loud noises. It was like gong, gong, gong. And then the doctor looked at me. He's like, "Oh yeah, you have like a slip disc or like a herniated disc in like your spine." He showed me a picture of it, and it looked pretty bad. And then like his English was okay, but we couldn't really like talk too much about it. So I kind of like asked him like, "What can we do?" He was like, "Oh, I can give you like this shot." And I was like, "Oh, is the shot like safe?" He's like, "It's usually safe." And I was like, "All right." Like this all happened within the span of like 90 seconds. And then I lay down on this table, and they put out like this big needle. It was like this shot that took like, I don't know, a minute or two to administer, and it didn't feel great. And then I met with like a physiotherapist there, and I was like, "Oh, like what stretches should I do?" He's like, "Don't stretch, like just like do nothing. Just try standing up and down for like the next couple months and see how that feels." I guess overall I'm feeling kind of like stressed about this because I've never had any sort of like bodily ailment like this before, but I guess also like nervous that, I don't know, again with like the language barrier here, I don't know if I'm getting like the right people looking at it, or like I feel like back in the US I could maybe advocate for myself better, but I don't really have the language capacity to do that here. So a little, yeah, stressed and nervous about that. I guess on the plus side, I've read that people sometimes go longer without getting this looked at, so I'm hopeful that maybe the fact that I went in sooner for it means it might heal without surgery. But it's seeming like the next, I guess, at least a couple weeks, maybe a couple months, it'll be pretty low activity, which kind of sucks, but as long as I can like walk around and go to stuff, shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, I think for the rest of the day, probably just head back. I'm like an hour away from home now, so grab some food when I'm back, and then I think I might wrap up this vlog here. It's kind of ending on a sad note, but the next one will be better, I promise. Well, all right. Again, thanks for watching. Catch you all next time.